We are live and alive.
Live and alive. Ole, come in.
Bro, why can't you just be on time for once? You're always joining late, and then I always have to be doing the switch screen thing. If you know, if you had, we're actually on
Wait,
time.
was I not on time? I
No,
thought I
you
was
were
the first
not.
one on the screen. Was I not the first one on the screen?
Mm, I put you on first, but you weren't the first.
Nah, bro. I put you on. Let's
Yeah,
get that
sure.
straight first of all. Let's get that out the way. I put you on. But what's up, y'all? Who we got in here?
Mm,
Yo, if you guys could see my setup, every week this gets better. Like literally every week this gets better. Like I got the YouTube screen up here so I can see the comments now. And then down here, I got I got the camera here. I got the light here. I'm not using this stupid thing anymore. Um, one thing I did forget was my Gatorade. I'll grab it in a second. But yeah, I got a good setup. How about you? I see you got some colorful things in the back there. What's up?
yeah, it's a good setup.
What is that exactly?
It's a light. It's just one of those lights that you shine on your ceiling.
Oh, okay, I got you. I know
Hmm.
exactly what you're talking about. So we're gonna talk about what are we covering today? Let's put that up on the screen. What are we talking about today?
Sure. So, um,
Oh gosh, the two DUIs. The two DUIs. We'll cover that, and then obviously Ye's come back. Ye. So for those of you guys who don't know, Kanye West sold out back to back at I think they call it the SoFi Center. So he sold out back to back at the SoFi. So that's gonna be dope to cover because it's just like, can you cancel this guy? Can't like we've tried, right?
no, y'all tried. I didn't try anything.
I swear we tried. I swear we tried canceling this guy. He keeps coming back.
No, Kanye is
If we
uncancelable.
see it, you guys know, like I've been a huge fan of you guys. Okay, let me just say this right now. I'm rarely a fan of like a celebrity of somebody I don't know. I'm a fan of, for example, I'm a fan of C because I know him, right? I'm a fan of my friends. I'm a fan of my family, my loved ones, the people I actually know in real life, the people who I've actually interacted with. Maybe I didn't meet them in person, but I'm a fan of a lot of our followers. I'm a fan of a lot of the subscribers that we have. Like I'm a fan of a lot of people. But celebrities, I don't really know you like that. What I'm really a fan of is their music. If we haven't had any interaction, then the only thing I have is music, right? Or whatever, like whatever art they put up there. If it's sports, it's whatever your performance was on the court or beyond, right? So my point that I'm making is I have been a huge fan of Kanye West's music. He's obviously been a great inspiration to me in music, and I grew up on Kanye West, right? I grew up on Kanye West. So when his first album came out, I was like maybe in eighth grade or something like that. I just remember being the youngest on the basketball team and being on the bus going to a game and rapping College Dropout word for word. We asked them to play it. Back then, they had these. They had these. I don't. Let me know. Tell me if you know this because you're a little younger. Tell me if you know this. You plug
A
it
little.
in. You plug this thing in. You go to a radio station, and it's Bluetooth, so you could do Bluetooth from your device to the car radio. So it's like a device you plug in, and then you have to go to a particular radio station.
Um, no, I don't. I've heard of those. I've seen them before, like when I guess when they were just about to come out of style. I don't know how they operate, but I'm familiar with them. I've just never seen one in. I've seen them like I've heard of them, but never actually seen one in person.
Yeah, back in the day, that's what we used to use in basketball. Um, that's what we used to use on like we would get, you go on the team bus, which is really just a school bus. So there's a school bus driver that's driving us to the game. But back in the day, they like obviously those school buses, they didn't have like a CD thing, right? And they usually only had cassettes. We were a little bit too old for cassettes, but obviously the MP3 thing didn't come out yet. The streaming service and stuff like that didn't come out yet. So what we would do is we would like either take your Discman, and some of the Discman, the new ones have Bluetooth, or those brand new like memory stick things. It's not a memory stick. It's like a. It looks like a memory stick, but it's like an MP3 because you could put like 100 songs on it, and like every now and then you got to switch out the songs. I'm aging myself, but that was back in the day. It makes me sound a lot older than I am. I'm not. I'm a millennial, so it's not. It's that's. I mean, that's big, but that I'm not that old. What's up, Kim Truly Blessed? What's up, Christina? What's up, Baby K? What's going on, y'all? We're going to be talking about a lot of topics today. Even though we only have 1, 2, 3, 4 on the board, it's going to kind of go a little bit deeper than that because that killer doctor one that we have there is kind of crazy. That killer doctor one is kind of crazy. See, get to these comments real quick. I forgot my Gatorade. I'm going to go grab it. Just get to these comments real quick.
Yeah, I've been reading them. Kim Truly Best says Happy Friday Eve. JNC in the chat. Christina said, I'm sorry guys, but I love Ye. In fact, I have a pair of Yeezy slide. That's cool. Kim Truly Best says, my daughter going to Kanye tomorrow night at Sofa is sold out too. Yeah, I saw that. We're gonna talk about that as well.
Crazy.
Yeah.
You can't cancel this guy. The videos I saw, so there's a YouTuber. I don't know if she's a YouTube. I don't think she has a YouTube. I don't know, but she's her name is, she goes by the name of Emily Knows Everything. So I met her when I was covering the Puff trial, and we became friends. And yeah, essentially, she loves you. I think she has a channel called Everything Kanye or something like that. It's like her she literally have a channel just covering Kanye West, and she was at the show yesterday, and she had posted some videos that I saw, and I was like, damn, that place is bumping, sold out 2 nights in a row. You can't cancel this, man. It's impossible. It's absolutely and you know what the crazy thing is? I keep hearing, put my headphones on in a second, hopefully it doesn't mess up the audio. I keep hearing people talk about the new album, and I keep hearing people say it's mid, it's this or that. Well, everybody's entitled to their opinion. I've been listening to it. But what I will say is that's not what the numbers are going to say. Like, a lot of people are like trashing the album because they think that's what they have to do. But we'll see when the numbers come up, because you can always go ahead and try to twist things in narrative, and you can go ahead and try to twist things, in, I guess, in propaganda. But at the end of the day, there's only wins and losses, which is so happens to be one of the themes of the live, right? There's only wins and losses. And so, they could say whatever they want about Kobe Bryant. 5 rings. He was a ball hog. He was this. He was that. 5 rings. Say whatever you want. 5 rings. Try it. 5 rings. There's only wins and losses. So whatever he was doing that you didn't like worked for him. So maybe you should try it. Right?
Yep.
I'm not saying to try what Ye's doing. I'm not saying that. Because there's only one person that I know of that exists on this planet right now that could do what Ye has done and still get the results, and that's just Kanye West. That's it. He's one of one. Nobody else existing on planet Earth that I know of could do anything like what he's done and still be able to pull off this, like it's nothing, like he's done nothing. And could you imagine if you're Kanye West? Could you imagine, like, you feel like you could just do anything you want and people are going to love? Like, Drake couldn't even do that, right? Drake lost half of his fan base during the battle, right? Then Kanye West turned around and said the most crazy things you've ever heard a celebrity say, not just now, for his entire career, from Taylor Swift to George Bush doesn't care about black people to everything. Kanye West has said the most crazy things, uncancelable. It's absolutely crazy to me. I've not seen something like this ever. So, yeah. And I do got to grab my charger so we don't get into that. Let's play JT, who can't do just anything. Justin Timberlake, the original JT before, the original Justin before Justin Bieber. There was a Justin Timberlake from NSYNC. Now, Justin Timberlake, he has already been filmed while he was intoxicated, And in the first film, if you guys, we're not going to cover it today, but if you guys want, just put Justin Timberlake intoxicated on balcony, and you guys will see he's been filmed many times when he's intoxicated. Justin Timberlake, if you're seeing this, just know how to hold your liquor, bro. Know your limits, and please don't drink and drive. You were absolutely crazy. So let's play that footage of Justin Timberlake just absolutely embarrassing himself.
Because you're keep veering off to the left, and then you're not stopping at the stop signs.
Yeah, sorry about that.
Is this your vehicle? Whose vehicle is it?
It's just a rental.
It's a rental? Okay. Do you have any registration with it? Do you know if they can put it in the glove box?
Let me check.
Feet together, arms by your side. You're doing it just now. I'm just going to re-explain it before we continue, okay? Arms by your side, feet together, and then you're going to keep your head straight, and just keep your head straight, only follow with your eyes, okay?
Okay.
You understand that?
All right. Yes, sir.
Okay. So left foot on the line. Left foot on the line first. And then you're going to put your right foot in front of your left, stay just like that. Okay? You're going to be heel to toe, like this. Heel to toe. Up. Put your left foot on the line. Yep. You're going to have your right foot in front of your left, heel to toe.
Here.
Okay, so we're going to put our left foot on the line first. Put your right foot in front of your left, heel to toe. And you can stay just like that, okay?
Okay.
Okay. So this is going to be a series of 9 heel to toe steps. I will demonstrate this like you're doing right now, like this. 1, 2, 3, all the way up to 9, followed by a series of small steps around. 1, 2, 3, all the way up to 9 back. This is going to be heel to toe, so you're going to be clicking your heels as you're going.
Yo, hold up. Pause that real quick.
While you're doing.
I don't want anybody to snitch on themselves. I don't want anybody to snitch on themselves. But if you, I've not done this before. I have had to do a breathalyzer test, which I passed, by the way. That was bogus, by the way. I was literally just sitting in my car playing music, and the police came over to my cars and parked in a parking lot, and they pulled into the car park. We're sitting there in the space playing music, me and my friends, and the police came in and told me I need to do a breathalyzer test. And I was like, for what? Like, what is the, where you guys see any alcohol? Where do you guys see anything? And he was like, I can smell alcohol or something like that. I don't remember. This was years ago. So I said, but why would I have to do a breathalyzer test if we're not driving? And you know what he said? He said, you're in the passenger seat. Sorry, you're in the driver's seat, and the car's on. I said, but it's in park. He said, it doesn't matter. The car's on, and you're in the driver's seat, so I want to do a breathalyzer test. And essentially, I ended up doing one. I said, all right, whatever. And I did pass. But I felt like that was like, come on, bro. Like, we're not driving. We're not a threat to anybody. We're sitting there. But I get it. Number one, you have a quota. Number two, you got to keep the streets safe. But what about you? See, you ever had an experience like that?
No, never. I'm a law-abiding citizen, and I follow the rules.
Yeah.
All right, guys, before we get back into the video, just want to remind you to hit that like button and hit that share button as well if you feel like somebody who might be interested in this live. And also, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, please hit that subscribe button as well. All right, shall we get back into the video, Jay?
No, I want to go through these. A couple. Kim Truly Blessed says Kanye has a nice gospel song in the new album. This is true. And then Zoo Tours says JT used to get drunk and or high in the clubs in Orlando back in the day when I lived there. I don't think he'd drive drunk though. Or you didn't think? Yeah, I didn't think so. I mean, this guy clearly likes to get lit, which a lot of people do. There's nothing against the law for getting lit. Justin could have easily had it. Exactly my point, and we're going to get to that. Justin could have easily had a driver the whole night. Exactly, and he has a rental. He's saying, I'm following my friends. This is live and alive. Love this. Yeah, absolutely. And the thing I'm going to get to, because I am not going to sit here and tell you guys that I've never driven without that I'm not guilty of drinking and have driven after. Not crazy drinking, but I have drank and I have driven afterward. So I'm not going to sit here and act like all almighty. Did I have a reason for it? Probably a better one than he did, right? There's absolutely no reason for this, and for someone like Justin Timberlake or Tiger Woods, for you to be out here under the influence of anything and driving. Tiger Woods, we're going to get that to there in a second. This is not even his first time, and it wasn't alcohol. He passed the alcohol test, so it was some sort of drugs, and that they're saying he had. It's alleged. I'm not saying that he was on it, but this is also not his first time. Remember, he also got into another car accident while he was on a whole bunch of other things. They said that it was a cocktail of prescription drugs that he was taking because of his back surgery and whatever. The point that I'm making is get a driver. Who had made that? I think Zutor said that. Like, you could just get a driver. I get a driver when I'm tired. Like, you guys can get a driver when you're under the influence of something. Come on now. So the funny thing, before you go ahead, see, the funniest thing with this is Justin Timberlake turning around and telling the police, these tests are really hard. We'll get there in a second. But go ahead, see.
Yeah, it's very interesting because I don't know if it's just they want to feel normal at times, so they want to just take matters into their hands, or they want to just drive themselves. But like somebody like Tiger Woods is like a billionaire. Like, why are you even driving, bro? Especially when you know you're gonna be drinking and stuff.
Well,
Why would
I
you?
don't even drive. I don't even drive. Like, I take Uber everywhere. Like, I mean, also I live in New York, so I don't drive anyways. But what I'm saying is, like, when I had two cars, I used to have two cars. Even when I had two cars, I would park my two cars and still take Uber. Like, I don't want to be going through that. I'll tell you guys one crazy story that happened on my birthday of, like, remember last week we talked about having good people around you in a good circle. So there's one crazy story that happened on my birthday. So my birthday is right after Trinidad Carnival. You guys know I'm from Trinidad. So I used to go to a carnival every year before the pandemic, right? And so this particular year I came back from Trinidad, and when you come back from Trinidad, they have this big party. It's like a fete for everybody who came back from Trinidad to celebrate everybody coming back, but also celebrate the music and all that stuff that was there, all the competitions that were won and stuff like that, right? So we went to this for my birthday, this party when I got back from Trinidad, and the party so happened to fall actually on my birthday. So I, had a big event. I had a dinner, and then we went, and this is over 10 years ago, and it's probably like when I was like 20, 21, something like that. Anyways, my point is, I get back and we have this big party, and I get like lit. Like, I had drank so much, I was lit in the party. My cell phone got stolen by somebody I was dancing with. She just like put her hand in my pocket and stole my cell phone. So I was already kind of like pissed that my cell phone was stolen, and like I was already drunk. So and everybody's buying you, when it's your birthday, everybody buys you drinks, right? So everybody's buying you drinks, and then your cell phone gets stolen, so everybody feels more bad for you. But the only thing they could do for you while you're there is like, hi, hey, come take a drink. I'll buy you another drink. By the time I was walking out of there, I was lit. I don't remember walking out of there, but this is what I do remember. I remember going into my car to drive, and I remember people saying, "You are not good to drive." I remember this. "You are not good to drive, Jay. You are not driving. Let me drive your car." And back then, I had worked really hard to buy the car that I had. It wasn't anything special. It was an Acura TL. But at that age, to have an Acura TL, luxury vehicle, I'm putting air quotes for those of you guys just listening to this, leather interior, sunroof, tinted windows. I had I got the back seats replaced with the little TVs in the back, all that stuff. So I was like, nobody drives my car but me. I'm driving. And I was like, I'm going to drive. I'm good. You guys get in or don't get in, but I'm driving, I'm good. And they literally, physically pulled me out of the driver's seat. Literally, physically pulled me out. I'll never forget this. Pulled me out of the driver's seat, said, "You're not driving." And I said, "I don't want anybody to drive my car, in your drunken state. Oh, you drive my car, blah, blah, blah." And essentially what they did is they pulled me into my friend's car. My friend drove me to his house, and I woke up on his couch thinking it was my bedroom. I'm like, where the hell am I? They left my car in the parking lot because nobody could drive Jay's car. You think Jay today is difficult? Jay at 21 was even worse. All right. And I just remember them pulling me out, and I woke up, and then I had to take a taxi because there was no Uber back then. I'd take a taxi to go and get my car and drive it home the next day. Those are good people in your circle. They're never going to allow you to do stupid things. Justin Timberlake, you need friends like that. You need people in your circle like that. You said you were following your friends. That's what you told the officer. Maybe you were. It seems like you were, because one of your friends came back to when you got pulled over and tried to clean it up. Why would your friends say, just follow us, you'll be fine, instead of, hey, leave the rental here, get in our car, or let's get an Uber for you? But like, what people do you have around you? That's what we were talking about last week. Have a good circle around you. Like, my friends don't let me do stupid things. Why do yours? Let's continue.
Under arrest.
For driving while intoxicated.
Stop it. Justin Timberlake's under arrest. Can you help me, please? Can we do anything? Can you please stop it? I'll do anything.
No, it is what it is at this point, okay?
No, you can't, put him in jail.
He's going to be held for the night?
Yeah,
I can't take him home.
He's
Lady,
waiting for the morning?
There has to be.
If you didn't want him to be in jail, then why did you let him drive? You seem to be pretty sober. I'm assuming you have your license. Why didn't you drive? If you didn't want him to be in jail, I'm not understanding this. Justin Timberlake cannot be in jail. Why didn't you have that thought before you let this guy go behind the wheel and endanger everybody's life? Like, I'm not for this type of thing. And especially, back in the day, a lot of people, they drank and drove, I should say, because you couldn't afford to get your car the next day, right? Even in New York, it's very expensive. Let's say you live in Brooklyn and you go and drive to the city for a party, and then you drink too much. First of all, you can't park there all night. Secondly, you already paid like $50-$60 a park if you did park. If you couldn't find street parking, which you probably couldn't if it's a night out, it's a Friday or Saturday, you're gonna have to pay $50-$60 in an underground. Then after that, you can't leave it there all night. If you do, you're gonna get double charged. And then you gotta take an Uber home, which is gonna cost you $50-$60, and an Uber back, which is gonna cost you $50-$60. So yes, I'm not condoning it. You should have thought about that before and then just took an Uber there to begin with. What I'm saying is, if you're Justin Timberlake and you're with your friends on a quote unquote world tour in a rental, none of those barriers are there. Like, none of them. None of those barriers are there. You could simply just say, and on top of that, it's on the house. It's not even like it's coming out of your pocket, right? If you're on a world tour, this is on the house. This is part of the expenses of the tour, to get the artist back to the hotel or wherever you're going safely. Now, somebody did say, I saw one of the comments here. It says, Tiger don't want anyone to know where he's creeping. That's the best comment so far that we've gotten on this live. Somebody beat that comment, because and if you guys know the history of Tiger Woods, then you guys know why this is so funny. The history of Tiger Woods makes this that much more hilarious. All right, let's get the likes up. Send this live to somebody that you feel could find some entertainment here on a Thursday night, and tomorrow's a holiday, at least for most. So let's get it.
Talking.
No, not anymore.
Please help me.
Not anymore.
Hold on.
Okay.
So
Hold on.
this
Can
is the registration of the vehicle. Just make sure it stays with the vehicle, okay?
I have his phone.
Yeah.
Yep.
Can you guys please just do me a favor because you loved Bye 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 or
I'm
like
happy.
Sexy Back?
So-
Like,
Yeah.
do me one favor. Let me ask him if he wants me to give him his phone.
Yeah. I mean,
This is
that's-
insane.
So it's not going to be a long thing. I'll let you walk up real quick.
Please.
Okay, so
Hold up. Can you
partner here? I don't.
please? Who loves Bye Bye Bye? She couldn't have like picked a hit from like one of the Timberlake produced songs or something like that. Really? Who loves Bye Bye Bye? See, do you know that song? I know it's a little bit before your time, but who loves Bye Bye Bye?
Nah, I don't know. Maybe
This
I've
is
heard it, but I don't know the title.
This is an NSYNC song.
Oh,
Yeah, I pronounce
kind
NSYNC.
of. I'm not really adjusting.
I pronounce NSYNC and sync purposely the wrong way. I do it purposely because I think the name of the band was so foolish. But it's an NSYNC song. Kim Truly Blessed, that's a nice song. Hey, you know what? If you like it, I love it. If you like it, I love it. But they couldn't say something like Senorita or like from Justified or something like from like Cry Me a River or like something from like the later days like Sexy Back or something like that. Like he was a lot better after he left NSYNC. I feel like his wings were able to fly at that time. But anyways, all right, let's continue.
There wasn't one to stop to. My partner here observed you some kind of traffic violation. Started a traffic
Yo,
stop.
this guy's face right now.
Impairment. Did a series of routine tests on you, right? Field sobriety tests. Okay. You performed poorly on those. Okay. Based off of his observations, you are intoxicated.
Okay.
So you were under arrest for DWI. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Awesome. All we're asking is if you understand what was just read to you.
Yeah, I hear you.
Perfect.
And what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna reread this again. We're gonna go through the rest of it, but at this, the fully stop at the stop sign, and then while you're driving, you failed to keep right.
So you know, see, this was a rookie officer that that arrested him. It was a rookie officer. You know that?
No, I did not.
I did not know that either until I read an article earlier when I was preparing for this live. It said it was a rookie officer.
So what are you
Interesting.
saying, that if it was a more experienced officer, they would have probably let him off the hook?
Yes. Have you ever seen Training Day?
No.
Get off the live. Get off. Go. You're done. You're done. You're done. You haven't seen Training Day?
I don't even know what that is.
Chat, can you guys please? I know we all love C, but please, can we please discipline him right now for not having watched Training Day? Come on now. You haven't watched Training Day, my guy?
Yeah.
Like, please. Listen, Training Day, Denzel Washington is training a rookie officer. The rookie officer wants to do everything by the book. Denzel Washington is a regular LAPD officer, also known as a crooked officer. But I'm playing. LAPD, I'm playing. I'm coming to LA in a few weeks. Please don't, please. I was just joking. And you probably weren't even an officer at the time that Training Day was made. Okay, so I'm talking about the officers back then, the retired ones. And I'm still joking.
You know, the only movies with Denzel Washington that I've ever seen are there's just 3 movies. I've seen Equalizer and I've seen Bone Collector.
Equalizer.
What
is this? Is this a joke?
I used to think all his movies were so boring. I used to.
So let's get into this real quick. Before we continue, let's get into this real quick. This is why we love to do stuff live, because lives they go every direction. All right, you're getting the real, raw, authentic us. Okay, let's get into this real quick. Let me start here. All right. Somebody once told me that Denzel Washington can't act because he plays the same role over and over and over and over again. Put a 1 in the chat if you agree with that statement. Put a 2 in the chat if you disagree with that statement. Again, apparently, Denzel Washington cannot act because he plays the same role over and over and over again. Put a 1 in the chat if you agree. Put a 2 in the chat if you do not agree. Yes, that's correct. Mike Booker, he is younger, so yeah. C, what do you think about that? do you think somebody's acting credentials can be revoked, or at least put an asterisk beside them if they are playing the same role over and over again? Do you think that has to do with your acting ability, whether you can
Yeah,
act or not?
yeah. I mean, yes, because if we're not seeing any rage, I mean, you're a true display of acting is the display of um certain rage based off of the role that you're given. But it's like Steven Seagal. He never gets hit. He always acts like the man that's one step ahead, and it's
Can
just
I say one thing? Can I interrupt
sure.
you real quick, if you don't mind?
Yeah.
It's Steven Seagal, Jamaica.
Why am
Steven Seagal.
Seagal? Whatever. So it's like that. That's how I used to, and now I've grown to appreciate his movies more, and I know the newer ones. But with that's how I used to think of Denzel Washington. I used to think like his movies were like boring, and I like when I see different kind of range in actors.
Well, let me tell you this. I totally disagree with that. If I was on the chat, I would have put a 1 because I disagree with that. I think I said 1 if you disagree, 2 if you agree. I totally disagree with that. Here's why. First of all, you don't know that Denzel Washington doesn't have range because he's never done it. Secondly, first of all, that's smart, by the way, because if he played another role, like Jim Carrey tried to step out of the comedy, and then everybody killed him for it, right? Remember he did the movie 23 or something? I think it was like 23 or 21, whatever that number movie was. It was like a horror film, and everybody said he was horrible, and like they're used to seeing Jim Carrey in this light. That's the first thing. Secondly, acting is art. Why is it that this is the only art form that we hold people to the standard? Do you want to see Jay-Z do an R&B album? Oh, but what about the range?
I mean, I would want to see where I would want him to bring that kind of talent in something different and see how great he can make it.
This is a thumbnail right now.
Come on, you have to admit
No.
that was a good one to see.
That is crazy. No, we do not want to hear Jay-Z sing. Okay, nobody wants to hear Jay-Z sing. Okay, and then let's bring it to something else. Let's bring it to painting. I'm looking at a beautiful painting right now. This is a beautiful painting, isn't it? Oh, I didn't get a chance to put it up yet, but look at this. Look at that. So my point is that, do you want to see Basquiat paint like Picasso?
No, then that would mean
No.
that would mean
If Basquiat painted the Mona Lisa, she probably had a crown. By the way, for those of you guys who actually saw the Mona Lisa in person, big disappointment. Just letting you guys know. First of all, the picture is the size of my laptop. Okay, it's very small. And when I did my research after, it was unfinished. The painting was actually unfinished. And you have to like line up in the logo, wherever they call it, the museum. And it's like right at the end. And like I said, it's like this big, the picture. That was amazing marketing. It was that I need that picture. Yes, I will. You know, this photo here, I have 4 of them, by the way. I printed them over and over again because the first original one that I had was so amazing, and then I just started printing it, so I feel bad. But anyways, my point is, I used to have an Airbnb business, so I used to have it in all of my Airbnb apartments, and so yeah. Anyways, so my point is, Basquiat, I want you to do Basquiat paintings. Jay-Z, I want you to rap. Beyonce, I want you to sing. She's okay at rap, but I don't want her to try to be a Nicki Minaj. I want her to be Beyonce who sings, and maybe sometimes you throw a few bars that Jay wrote. I didn't say that, but but that's all I'm asking is, Why is it that actors have to have this whole range? You want to see Melissa McCarthy? That's her name, Melissa McCarthy. I know you like her. Melissa
Yeah.
McCarthy. Do you want to see her in a drama film? Or do you want to see her do what she does?
She's been in drama films before.
Do you want to see it, though?
It's a
Is that
series
what you
range.
like? Is that what you like? Is that what you like?
It's good to see that range.
Did she do a good job?
Just like Jennifer Lawrence, she's not.
But did she do a good job? That's all I'm asking.
Because she's Melissa McCarthy, and she's always going to do a good job.
Oh, please. God.
Just like Jennifer Lawrence when she's a Hunger Games.
I don't even know who that is.
She's not funny in Hunger Games, but she did that movie called that comedy, and it was like crazy to see.
Who
that
is Jennifer Lawrence?
The Hunger Games girl.
I've not seen that movie. I know the movie, obviously, but I've not seen it. Listen, the reason why I disagree with this is because that is not what acting is. Acting is playing a part. If I play the same part all the time, I'm still acting. That's the point of what I'm trying to make. If I play the same part over and over and over again, when am I not acting? I'm still playing the role. When I see Denzel Washington in any role he's in, I think he's that character. I don't think he's Denzel Washington. I thought that he was the father in John Q. I thought that he was the bodyguard in Man on Fire. I thought that he was the police officer in Training Day. I thought that he was the cheating husband / whatever in that other movie that he had with the pretty lady. What's her name? Eva Longoria. Is it Eva Longoria? No, Eva Mendes. He had another movie with Eva Mendes. If you guys know that movie in the chat, let me know. But I thought that he was the police officer who was banging the other guy's woman. I thought that he was that guy. That's what acting is. That's all it is portraying a character. Is it his fault that he is portraying the character so well?
I mean,
out of time. Thank you, Zootors. Out of time. Our chat is so smart. Yeah, out of time. That's a great movie, by the way. Just let you know. You want to watch Denzel Washington movies? Watch some of the ones I just gave you. Book of Eli and whatever, Equalizer. What's the other one you said?
The one with Dakota Fanning where he was.
That's Man on Fire.
Yeah, I like that one. Good one.
Okay, so you did watch it. Okay. But what I'm saying is you didn't watch Denzel Washington's like really, really like when he was acting in his prime. I shouldn't say in his prime, but like when he was still hungry. You watch like Equalizer, he was already Denzel Washington at that time. You know what I'm saying? So yeah. Anyways.
All right, back to
Denzel Washington, everybody's mother's crush. All right, let's continue.
Start over. Sorry.
So
one more time.
You failed to stop at the stop sign, and then while you're operating the motor vehicle, you failed to keep right on your side of the roadway, and you continuously moved off and veered to the left of the roadway.
Okay. Well, I was just following my friends.
Okay. Yeah, I understand, but
so if the friends veered off the roadway, it wasn't his fault. It was because he was following his friends. Hear that? I was just following my friends. They reared off the roadway. I reared off the roadway. Continue.
You boys treat me like I'm a criminal.
You guys are treating me like I'm a criminal.
I don't want to say that because, I mean, you're being arrested, so for misdemeanor DUI. I don't like to call people names, Mr. Timberlake, but we're just the situation that we're in, unfortunately, okay? I'm trying my best to treat you like anybody else, okay? I appreciate your cooperation.
Yeah, man.
Most people, a lot of people don't cooperate like this, so it goes a long way in my book. I appreciate it.
He's still, Zutor said he's still tipsy in the police station. And you know the crazy thing is, for anybody who's ever been under the influence before, at a point, like when crazy things start happening, you sober up quick. I don't know what it is. I think God just goes like, boom, you got to be alert for this one, bro. But like, I don't know what it is, but he didn't. Like, he's still in the police station looking like he's about to pass out. That was crazy. I don't know what he was on.
I honestly have to say, I feel sorry for him just seeing him in that video. I feel so sorry for him. If I was an officer, I would just let him on his way. I feel sorry for.
Oh my gosh. So now Tiger Woods one was in broad daylight, right in the middle of the day. Let's get into
And it
that
was a
real quick.
car accident too.
And
With the-
it was actually a car accident. He literally was 1 inch away from possibly, taking somebody's life. So
And Tiger Woods has been arrested in Florida. Police say Woods was driving at a high speed on a residential road when his SUV clipped a truck and rolled onto
residential
its side.
road.
Here's a look at that scene. He
Crazy.
managed to crawl out and wasn't seriously hurt, but deputies say he showed signs of impairment. A breathalyzer detected no alcohol, but investigators believe medication or drugs may be involved, and Woods refused a urine test. He was taken into custody and will be held for at least 8 hours under Florida law. Now, this isn't the first time. Woods previously faced a similar DUI-related arrest back in 2017. Back then, he told police he took a mix of painkillers. He pleaded guilty to reckless driving then. In 2021, Woods drove his car off a coastal road in Los Angeles, leading to severe injuries. Woods was working his way back to golf after a 7th back surgery last fall. Now, this latest incident comes at a critical moment as he was weighing a return to the Masters and potentially serving as captain of the Ryder Cup team.
Yikes.
wild, right? Like unbelievable. And the other one, they were talking about the back surgery too, and that it was like a cocktail of prescription drugs and stuff like that.
Who says
This-
this is the second time flipping a car?
It is the second time. Did you see the photos of the first one? He was lucky to be alive the first one too. Like, bro, like this is crazy.
Well, that explains why he had to do surgery. I wasn't even thinking about that. That's how bad it was that he had to do surgery.
No. He had the back surgery because of golf.
Oh, it's because of golf.
Yeah, because of golf. Yeah, all that swinging.
His 7th surgery. Oh, I thought in the
You know what?
report-
Yesterday I came into my apartment yesterday. I go through the rear entrance at like on the other street to my apartment because it's faster to walk from the train, right? Instead of walking all the way around the building. But on that side of my building, there's a dog park. And so I walk through the dog park. If you guys want to donate me a dog, I'll just email me and I'll send you guys what dog I want. I'm joking. But I do miss my last dog. I do miss my last dog. I've been thinking about getting a dog. Anyways, so I walk into the dog park and there's this guy just like chipping golf balls on the dog park. Like he has like a whole setup in the dog park. And I was like, if my dog was here, my old dog, if he was here, that little dude would mess everything up. He would knock everything down, probably take one of his golf balls. I was like, man, you're lucky that these all these dogs are well behaved and just leaving you, let you chip in the dog park. Anyways, my point is that Tiger Woods, please get a driver. Trump can only save you so many times, bro. Trump can only save you so many times. Get a driver, please. That's my advice to Tiger Woods, right? Get a driver. My advice to Tiger Woods used to be wrap it up. Now it's get a driver.
We also have that clip, the body cam with him when the cops got there.
Oh, here we go. There we go.
Let's get into it.
Up down my phone, and all of a sudden, boom.
Can you tell me what happened real quick?
Yeah, I was looking down at my phone, doing a look at changing stations, and next thing you know, boom.
Okay. Are you okay? Feeling hurt?
Totally fine.
Okay.
Totally fine.
I was getting ready to turn, and he didn't see me, I think, and he just kept coming.
Are you all right? Are you in any pain?
No pain.
No back pain, no neck pain?
No.
Knee?
Nope.
Nothing.
Unfortunately for the accident, you are at fault.
Yep.
And subsequently, you are issued a citation for careless driving resulting in a crash.
Okay.
All right?
So Deputy Gideon request that I respond here to conduct a DUI investigation on you, just to ensure that you're safe to operate the motor vehicle at the time of the crash, okay? Just like I explained and demonstrated.
Alright,
all done? Okay, go ahead and stand up for me. Then you're gonna face my car. Okay, go ahead and place your hands behind your back. Place them behind your back. There you go. So at this time, I do believe your normal faculties are impaired, okay? And you're under the unknown substance, okay? So at this time, you're under arrest for DUI. Yes, sir.
Yeah, that's fine.
Can you just take that?
Yeah, that's a narco. It's narco? Yeah. Okay.
What was that just now? Oh, Jay, you're muted.
Am I? Can you hear me? I'm muted. Yeah. Anyways, so Tiger Woods, please. Tiger Woods, y'all. Where's that from?
I've heard it. I just don't remember. Don't put me on the spot, bro.
Head of State, Chris Rock. Come on. Bro, could we just all send some videos like in the chat that C needs to like catch up on because he wasn't born yet? No, but my one of my uncles, he's like a movie buff. This is the right word, right? Somebody who's really into movies, movie buff.
I've heard that term before. Yeah.
Yeah. So he's a movie buff, and he's always like, even the older movies. The other day when I went to visit them, they don't live here, but I went to visit them, and he had me watch this movie Seven with Al Pacino. I think it's called Seven with Al Pacino, or the number 7 or something like that with Al Pacino. Great movie. Again, before I was born, but you need some people to send you back in time. Who is this? Who says hello? Is that Aretha? She who must be
Be obeyed.
Be obeyed. Okay. Yeah, it's a little bit far for me to see.
She's one of our usuals. I just think that a name change. I don't remember the original.
It's a name change. Yes, it's a name change because I always remember the avatars. I remember the profile pic in the comment section. But hey, what's up? Welcome. All right. Yeah. So please, guys, more of a story. Don't drink and drive. Call an Uber. You don't have an excuse these days. Plan ahead. I don't know what else to tell y'all. I used to drink and ride. And that was also something that I used to be like, you know what? So I would ride there in the day. I would ride there in the day, not drive, ride. I would ride there in the day, and then I'd park, lock it up, and then go and meet my friends. But then when you come out from brunch, maybe you had a few too many mimosas. I used to just take the subway home and then come the next day and pick up my bike, right? Just be responsible. These days, we're all too way past this. Like, it doesn't, if there's a tragedy that doesn't have to happen, why have it happen? Right? There's a tragedy that doesn't have to happen. Why have it happen? Never thought I'd be talking about this on the eve before Good Friday, but here we are. All right. Yeah, he's back. Yeah, he's back. Let's get into it. So Kanye West, for those of you guys who do not know, Kanye West has 2 sold-out shows at the SoFi Center. Did you guys like my reporter voice?
It's working. It's doing a thing.
Kanye West, formerly known as Ye, has 2 sold-out shows at the SoFi Center. But he does. He can't be canceled. He says the most outlandish, wild things ever known to any celebrity ever. Okay? Most of it untrue. Some of it true. Most of it untrue. Untrue. And then we reward him by giving him money, buying all the tickets at premium prices to his show in LA. So, I mean, for those of you guys who thought that that Kanye West was a thing of the past, I guess not. Like, this is crazy. Shout out Kanye West, still doing his thing. I hope he's better. And I like our last live, some people said, I hope that he does all of this stuff for publicity. and he's not actually like that for the safety of himself and his family. I agree with that statement. But even if that's true, then it's still even more worse. But then it's like worse, but then it's better because of the safety of him and his family, but it's worse because it's kind of disgusting. So
yeah.
Yeah.
I got some clips here. You know, I'm always on the clips, but I have one with footage taken at the SoFi Center, and this is while people were waiting for him to get started. It says over 80,000 people. And then I have another clip with a guy talking about the tickets being sold out, and then another one about a girl talking about cancel culture is dead and that we should have canceled him. So let's get into the
cancel
first
culture
one.
is not dead, by the way. It's Kanye West. It's Kanye freaking West. If they want to cancel conversations with Jay tomorrow, I'm gone. But I'm not Kanye West. So like cancel culture is not dead. It just doesn't work for people. Like it doesn't work for Kanye West, Donald Trump. Donald Trump could say anything he wants. It will not work. You'll vote him for president. Well, America. Not you, because you're in Jamaica. But you understand what I'm saying. Like, it doesn't work for some people. Go ahead. $80,000 people. 80,000. 2 nights in a row. I don't think it was 2 nights in a row, actually. I think it was last night. Then today he took a break, and then tomorrow. 80,000 people, 2 shows. 160,000 total.
So now let's get into this other one with this guy. He's talking about how the tickets you can hardly find tickets.
Within 1 hour, the tickets for Ye's brand new USA show just got sold out. As many of you guys know by now, yesterday afternoon, it was officially confirmed that Ye is going to be returning to the US for the first time in years, as he is doing a brand new show next month on April 3rd, happening in Los Angeles, California. Now, from the way things are looking, the tickets for this event look to be almost sold out, because already within 1 hour, there were over 1 million people in the queue looking to buy tickets. And as of right now, when you go on websites like Ticketmaster, the queue is absolutely closed, with it saying stuff like the queue is now closed. There are more fans in line than tickets available, so the queue is now closed. Additional tickets for this event will be available in the general on sale. And with that notification now popping up, a lot of people are concerned about 2 things, with the first one being the tickets might be sold out, or the tickets might be absolutely expensive when it's all said and done, because places like SeatGeek and SeatHub are showing price ranges going from around $500 to $1,000. Nonetheless, though, what is my entire situation? The tickets for Ye's brand new USA show happening in LA next month look to almost be fully sold out. Are you guys happy about this? Or are you guys not? And for all Ye content, make sure you guys...
Yeah.
Christina says, yay, yay. Hey, look, man. Kanye West, one of the few people that I can truly say, for me, I'm going to speak for myself. I am glad that I was on the earth to witness the genius of Kanye West.
Yeah, definitely.
Incredible artist. This guy has classic album after classic album, changed the entire landscape of music in our culture, and even transcended from our culture to other cultures. And it's actually, he really is a musical genius. You don't even get something like The Blueprint, Jay-Z's classic album, The Blueprint, without Kanye West. You don't get something like the Black Album, another classic album of Jay-Z's, without Kanye West. You don't get Kid Cudi's Day and Night without Kanye West, or Pursuit of Happiness without Kanye West. That song that you said you like from Drake, that not the Hold On We're Going Home, the other one, I'm more than just hey, 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 that Better Find Your Love or whatever, I Better Find Your Love. That was Kanye West's song that he gave to Drake. It was fully done, everything. He gave it to Drake. He said, here, take one. Like, you don't even get a Drake without Kanye West, because Drake patterned his music after 808s and Heartbeats in the beginning, and that was Kanye West. I hated that album, by the way, 808s and Heartbeats, but I have to respect it. I hated that album, but it transcended what was there at the time. Kanye West has a line in, I think, College Dropout, and said, I woke up early this morning with a new state of I woke up early this morning with a new state of mind, a creative way to rhyme, without using knives and guns. So his whole thing from the beginning was, I don't want to be a gangster. I don't want to talk about selling this and doing that in the streets and whatever, because I didn't come from the streets. He was from Chicago, but he wasn't in the streets. You know what I'm saying? And he was one of the first to really actually make it big, if not the first to make it that big without rhyming about the streets. I mean, you had other people from Chicago, like Common, for example, who didn't rhyme about that, and Common's an amazing lyricist, but he never reached anywhere near the heights that Kanye West reached. Kanye West came up as a music producer. For those of you guys who do not know his story as well, he was a music producer at first, and he would produce and produce and produce for all of these great musicians, right? You know, that doom, 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 stand up from Ludacris, stand up. Yep, Kanye West, right? So like you get all of these musicians that go to Kanye West to make their beats and the production and stuff like that. And then Kanye West had this idea, said, I can rap too. And nobody took him seriously. And legend has it, according to Dame Dash and others, he literally stood on the table in the studio and started rapping so people could listen to him rap. Like literally just started rapping. He just started rapping to try to make people know that he can rap too. And everybody started laughing. And let's be honest, Kanye West, he's not that great of a rapper. But he can rap, right? He's not that great of a rapper, but he can rap. When you combine that with his genius in music production, you get a one-of-a-kind artist. You know what I mean? Like, imagine if Timberlake could rap, because Timberland has albums. Timberland's album, the first one, Timberland Magoo, the first album that they had, is actually the first album that I ever bought in my entire life. Okay, Timberland Magoo, the first one. They're both on the cover. Magoo has that little weird Kango hat, whatever. Oh, rest in peace, Magoo, by the way. But my point is that he couldn't rap at all. Like, he rapped, but it was horrible, right? Baby girl, I'm a man for the big B.A. What you gonna play by my way? And let's do what I gotta say. What is that? Those are nursery rhymes, right? But my point is that Kanye West, he could rap well enough to actually have his own album, carry himself, and even produce his own album. That was the first album that he ever had, which was College Dropout, right? So I'm just saying, Kanye West, genius. Thank you for what you've done, but you're also crazy. So
yeah, Booker says Kanye that artist, he elevated the rap genre. He speak his mind. Christina says, Jade, that's why I follow you. You know your stuff.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, now,
and even if I didn't live it, I always try to do my research as much as I can to know how we got here, right? So yeah, go ahead.
Some people don't like that, all this is happening to Kanye in the sense that, he's making a comeback and they're upset about it. Like this chick, she's making everybody know her thoughts on what she thinks about Kanye. Let's get into it.
Let's hear it.
The new album on March 28th titled Bully. On that first day, in that first 24 hours, that album had 30.7 million streams worldwide.
Can you pause that real quick?
Wireless Festival in London.
Like I told you, put me on the screen, please. Like I told you, you'll hear all podcasts. You'll hear the Joe Budden podcast. You'll hear Anthony Fantano or Fantana, whatever the last name is. I forgot if it's Fantano or Fantana, but you'll hear him. You'll hear a lot of people saying the album is mid. But I'm telling you, the numbers will tell you, right? Let's look at the wins. After he released that album is when he had this show. He sold out both nights in LA. He has this album that he released. The numbers are through the roof, okay? And on top of that, the Wireless Festival in London, which is their biggest music festival, booked him as the headliner after he released the album. So my point that I'm making is you can do all the propaganda you want, but at the end of the day, all your propaganda, all your comments, all your bots, all of that kind of stuff, it's not going to take people's money out of their pocket in order to put their butts in the seats. Okay, that's why you might think, oh, this is the #1 streamed artist, or this person's really good, or you look online and you think they're amazing. People I'm not saying Drake can't do an arena tour, but he hasn't. and he had to cancel. He had to cut his Australia tour short. Rumor has it because he couldn't sell tickets. You can have all the numbers you want. I don't know if that's all that's true, by the way, but I'm saying you can have all the numbers you want, but wins and losses, who's actually buying your album, spending their actual hard-earned money, who's actually booking you to get butts in the seats, and how many people are paying for your tour to sit down and watch you. And that comment about Drake, obviously a lot of people pay him. That's not what I'm trying to say, because a lot of people say I'm a Drake hater. Not. But my point is that don't listen to the propaganda. Don't listen to all of this, social media bots and all that kind of stuff and people's quote unquote reviews of the album. Go listen to the album yourself, see if you like it or not, and then watch what happens. Just watch what happens. So this girl, obviously she's not very happy, but let's listen to her.
It's a new album on March 28th titled Bully. On that first day, in that first 24 hours, that album had 30.7 million streams worldwide. Yesterday, the Wireless Festival in London announced that Kanye West was going to headline for 3 days in July. This is the same man who made pro-Nazi music, who said that slavery was a choice, who's done a host of horrible things outside of the way that he talks about and treats women, especially his girlfriend, who he parades around on a near endless shame tour.
It's his wife.
This should be the final nail in the coffin for all conversations about what cancel culture is or is not, because cancel culture just isn't real. And this makes that so obvious. And it's not just that it isn't real for men, because people are right now watching the new Harry Potter series that's out, as if J.K. Rowling hasn't been like the worst writer around for years now. There is no cancel culture. There is no real accountability culture. Every so often we pick a celebrity or two, or even sometimes some unfortunate soul with way too much airtime to degrade, to tear down, to hold accountable no matter the cost. And that becomes our example of cancel culture. But everybody else, no matter how evil or terrible or harmful they are, slides right on by. It's not canceling somebody or cancel culture if you just distance yourself for a little while they're doing something bad and then coming back when things look all right again. That's just being wishy-washy. That just means you're not standing on the things you say you believe in. And that's why we're talking about Harry Potter again when we shouldn't be. And that's exactly why Kanye West looks like he's about to go back on tour.
What do you think about that? Your thoughts?
I mean, I guess cancel culture does exist, but they're just, like you said, there's some people who just can't be canceled. And I think that's what Kanye, that's one of his objective with some of the stuff he was trying to do. I think he wanted to prove that he couldn't be canceled.
I don't know if he wanted to prove that, because he was technically canceled by his Adidas contract. Right. Their history.
You think he expected that though? He probably planned.
I think what he did was because he wanted to get dropped from Adidas, because Adidas had to pay him to get out of the contract, and Adidas was actually making shoes that look like the Yeezys. So he was really upset. Like, bro, I'm signed to you guys. You have a knockoff of my own shoe in your own brand that I'm signed to. Like, it really didn't make any sense. And then I remember him talking about that, and then he started saying all those things. And Adidas made shoes for the Watsies, right? Do you know the history? Aren't you half German?
Doesn't mean I know everything or know anything that's happening.
You don't know any of the history of Adidas?
The history of my town, which is in Jamaica, far, far away from Germany.
But okay, so that's what I thought. Anyways, my point with my thoughts on what she said. First of all, lady, I don't agree with anything that she just said. She just said something that I've been telling everybody all the entire time. Remember earlier in this live when I said I am a fan of the art or the sport or the culture or the genre or the movement, and I'm not a fan of the people who are part of it as much as I'm a fan of what they give, what they give us. Do you remember that? See?
Yeah, I do.
Okay, that's exactly what she's not understanding. What I'm understanding is none of these people are really actually that big of a fan of Kanye West, because if he came back and his music sucked, if he didn't have his old music that was so great, nobody would be going to the show. They're a fan of the art. They're a fan of what he put out into the world. And he, yes, is going in there and he's performing and redoing, I guess, reperforming a lot of the songs that he's already made, right? Just like Drake. Drake, a lot of his new music in the last, say, 8 to 10 years is not very much streamed, right? But if you go back to his older music, that older back catalog is streamed a lot. So it tells me that people aren't just a fan of the person. More people are like me. There's more people like me that don't realize that they're like me, which is I'm just a fan of what you do. So whatever you say or do or whatever in your personal life, or if you're a nut job, or if you're kind of out there, or if you're crazy, or if you're off your rocker, or whatever that might look like for that person, that's not my business. You can go and be crazy. Just keep the hits coming. Just keep the music that I enjoy coming. Just keep the good movies coming. Just keep the good artwork coming. Just get whatever it is. Just hey, bring it over here. I only want to be a fan of that, right? A lot of people can go crazy about athletes. And if an athlete gets into a scandal, they're still going to want their team to win. They're still going to want the athlete. They're still going to go ooh and ah, and they're still going to buy tickets to go and see that athlete play because of what they do on the court or on the field or whatever that might look like, on the ice if it's like hockey or something, right? So the fact of the matter is, you might not like somebody. You might not like somebody, but you're always going to be a fan of what they put out there. Remember, God bless my uncle who passed away. I remember having a Kobe Bryant conversation with him one time. Growing up, I was never a fan of Kobe Bryant. I actually became a fan of Kobe Bryant when, I would say I became a fan of Kobe Bryant probably just before he was like retiring. And then when I read his book, but I was always a fan of what Kobe Bryant did on the basketball court. He was my favorite basketball player. Whatever he did on the basketball court, I was always a fan of. I thought he was just amazing. I'd never seen anything like it. I was too young for Michael Jordan. So that was my Michael Jordan. Never seen anything like it. And he was the best player that I've ever seen with my own two eyeballs. I saw Kobe Bryant on TV and in person many times. My point that I'm making is I became a fan of Kobe Bryant, the person, after I watched the documentaries, read his book, stuff like that. And then obviously shortly after that, he passed away. But I was never really a fan. My uncle had told me one time, you know, I really, 2004, you guys can look up Kobe Bryant, 2003, 2004, Colorado. That incident happened. And my uncle said, you know, I was really a fan of this guy, you know, and like, I just hate that he put dirt on his name like that. Like, I just hate, he's a young man and he just put dirt on his name like that. And I just hate that he put dirt on his name like that. Now, both of them, obviously, Kobe Bryant, my uncle's also now passed away, but both of them way too soon, very young. But I just always think that I didn't really understand what my uncle was saying, because I was like, who cares if he puts a dirt on his name, as long as he still makes the shots, as long as he still dribbles, drives, and shoots, as long as he still wins championships, I don't care what he does. And I think that is the more popular way to think. I think the way my uncle was thinking, because he takes a mindset of a mentor, a coach, stuff like that over time. As a kid, we didn't really care what you were doing outside. We just cared what we were listening to, or what we were watching, or what we were reading, or what we were seeing. And I think most people are like that. And this lady that you just played, she doesn't understand that. She really doesn't realize that. Like, nobody gives a damn what Kanye West says. He is so good at what he does that they throw that right out the window because they're a fan of what he does and what he has done. Go ahead.
Yeah, that's how it should be too. I mean, he didn't become popular, or none of these celebrities or none of these people who are famous for what they do, like their art or what they create or what they represent, they didn't become famous of their personal life. They became famous because of those things, because of those art, and because of those works and all, you know, what they did on screen and stuff like that. So their personal views shouldn't matter. It should just
So
Mhm.
yeah, speaking of Khan, me, last name Khan. You know Shaka Khan? Do you at least know her? Auntie
Yeah.
Shaka.
Yes.
Okay. Oh my goodness. I had a crush on a girl named Shaka in school when I was in high school. And I was like, if I told myself, if we get married, her name's going to be Shaka Khan. Anyways, my point is Shaka Khan. Whenever I hear her in interviews, she does not sound like the songs that she makes and the way she sings. She sounds like, I'm not gonna say how she's. Just go look up Shaka. Just, you know, when you go look up Shaka Khan talks about Mary J. Blige. Go and look up Shaka Khan on Versus, and you'll see what I'm talking about. I don't want to say anything bad about Shaka Khan because I love Shaka Khan, but just go and look that up, and you'll understand exactly what I'm talking about. She is nothing like when you listen to her music.
Auntie Shaka on Versus
on Versus was Auntie Shaka on Versus was like one of my aunties at the barbecue that I will not name, but one of my aunties at the cookout. I ain't gonna name her. But that's all I'm saying. All right, so let's get into something. You know, we just talked about freedom of speech, right? Talked about Kanye West exercising his right for freedom of speech, even though a lot of us don't agree. Now, somebody who did exercise their right, freedom of speech, is Afroman. See, you were wondering who Afroman was. I told you who he was. And immediately when I told you the song that he sang, you knew it. So tell us who Afroman was while I go and use the restroom. Or is. I shouldn't say was. Wow. God bless you.
Yeah. Yeah, so he's the guy that did that song that everybody knows saying,
I'll just wait until you play the video. Go ahead. To use the restroom. Sorry, go ahead.
It's that song about I was
gonna clean my room, then I was gonna get up and find the broom, then I
then I got
la da 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 da. Y'all singing along at home. Da 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 da. Afroman. So Afroman, obviously a catchy songwriter, cool dude, always. He's in Cleveland. Is it Cleveland? No, some place in Ohio. He lives in a small town in Ohio. And apparently the Popo thought that he was doing the no-nos. Okay. The Popo thought that they investigated him for kidnapping, rugs, firearms, whatever, a whole bunch of stuff. They got a warrant to search his crib, bust down his door, broke up everything, took his security cameras, all these kinds of stuff. Did everything that they possibly could in the raid, found nothing, charged him with nothing. Very important to remember, charged him with nothing. His children were home, okay? Woke them up in the middle of the night. I remember seeing my first raid when I was like maybe 6 or 7 or 8, and I thought that there was a war. I was like, oh my gosh, the military's here. We're going to war, because they're all dressed in those, you know, the raid suits, and they got the artillery, whatever. And I just remember being a kid and sitting on the front at the front and just be like, oh my gosh, like the military's here. We're going to war. That is exactly what they did to Afroman. Bust down the door, went through his crib, okay? Found nothing, took $4,000 cash from his crib. Once he was not charged, they found nothing. He went to get his $4,000 back. And there was 400 of the $4,000 missing, according to the story, okay? So he only collected 3,600, and he said, where's my other 400? Not to mention, he has to fix his door. He has to fix the place. whatever they threw over or whatever, he's responsible for all that. They're not going to say, hey, it's covered by insurance. Don't worry. We'll come back and we'll send somebody to do all that. Nope, that's not what's going to happen. So he was pretty upset about it. Okay. Thank God this was not a Breonna Taylor situation or something like that, in which it could have gone left. It could have been much worse, right? There could have been casualties in this particular raid. Thank you, God. Now, he's pissed, and he's trying to raise money now to refix his house, you know, buy back the stuff that they broke, right? And all that kind of stuff. What happens is he makes music about the raid and how the police department were a bunch of fools. And wouldn't you imagine, the police department ends up, yes, you guessed it, suing him for defamation. The police sued him for making the songs about the raid. Now, the songs were pretty funny, I might add. But you're going to sue him for making these songs? That part's crazy. So let's get to the report, and then we'll get into the songs, and we'll get into everything else about this whole entire situation.
Afroman has defeated 7 sheriff's deputies in court after they sued him for releasing an album mocking them after police raided his home. The officers broke down his door in 2022 as part of a drug and kidnapping investigation, but the raid didn't lead to any charges. Afroman responded by releasing an album about the incident using home security footage and viral videos that made fun of the deputies. The album's main track, Lemon Pound Cake, was inspired by a moment during the raid when one deputy took a second look at the dessert on his kitchen counter.
The Adams County Sheriff kicked down my door. Then I heard the glass break. They found no kidnapping victims, just some lemon pound cake.
The deputies asked for $3.9 million in damages, saying they suffered humiliation, emotional distress, embarrassment, and damage to their reputations. Afroman told the jury he had the right to create artistic and critical content about government officials.
Okay, can we just acknowledge this man went to court in an American suit? His lawyer was wearing a tie with the American flag on it, okay? So, and then the lady that you saw crying in the beginning of that was one of the ladies that he was talking about in one of the songs. So he created a bunch of songs about these people to raise money to fix his house, and they sued him for it. So let's get a little bit of a comedic view, but go ahead, C, real quick.
I just think that's really wild that woman is gonna go on the stand crying, talking about emotional distress and blah blah blah. What about this man when you kick down him door?
Exactly.
Or hitting them when you wake them up?
Exactly. And all of the damages they did to the funniest part with that was when he looked back at the cake, the fat police officer, when he's passing the cake, and he took a double glance. Oh man, y'all stay fit, because when you're fat, you can't do anything with food without somebody talking shit about you.
All right, let's get into the video.
All right.
Remember Afroman from his hit song, Because I Got High. Or you might not remember it because you got high. But basically, back in 2022, local police in Ohio busted down Afroman's door, rummaged through his clothes, took money from his house, scared his kids, all to look for evidence of crimes that they never ended up charging him with. And Afroman did what Afroman does.
He released multiple satirical music videos using his own security camera footage of the incident that included images, you're seeing some of that here, of these officers.
Mama's lemon pound cake. It tastes so nice. It made the sheriff wanna put down his gun and cut him a slice. Randy Walters is the son of a bitch. Yeah, that's why our is like too rich.
Whoa, whoa. And that is why AI will never replace real musicians. Now, a lot of people found these Cuck the Police music videos funny, but the police officers who starred in them did not. So, last year, they sued Afroman for defamation. And right away, the officers had a problem, which is that when you sue someone for making fun of you, you have to get up on the witness stand and talk about how badly you suffered from it. Which led to moments like this.
Sean, you were called Officer Pound Cake by Mr. Flynn?
Multiple times. You received hundreds of pound cakes at work from different people.
Whoa. Oh, my God. My God. The horror. The horror. I can't imagine the pain of being sent free desserts. I just hope Afroman doesn't find out that I love banana pudding from Magnolia Bakery. It would be devastating if my haters sent me hundreds of them with the vanilla wafers specifically. I mean, oh God, I would never recover.
No, man. Now that was that was kind of fun.
Officer Pound Cake.
Oh my gosh. It says Twilight Zone. That Jamaican's coming out, see? Oh man. That was very entertaining. Thank you, Afroman. After that, the reason why he wore the American suit, by the way, is because it's freedom of speech, right? So he's allowed to do that. Now, obviously, freedom of speech is not free. That's why they ended up suing him, and he had to pay for a lawyer or whatever to represent him in court. However, that was hilarious. So shout out to Afroman. We always knew you were great. Now you're a legend. You are absolute legend. Absolute legend. So, all right. Now, we're going to get into a segment here. Now, I didn't get to use the restroom. I want you to introduce us and then play the first video. But we're going to get into a segment here that we haven't got, I guess we haven't even done yet. We talked a lot about it, but we haven't done a segment like this before. This segment that we're trying to do is, you guys know me, I like true crime like everybody else. I like a good case. I like a good mystery. I like to kind of figure out, connect the dots. I like that kind of stuff. And by the way, true crime is the #1 genre across all platforms, whether it's YouTube, whether it's podcasts on Spotify or wherever. True crime is actually the #1 genre. Blame my mother. I don't know why, but my mother used to have me since I was a child watching, I think it was called Forensic Files. Yeah, Forensic Files. Since I was a kid, I used to watch that with my mother. That was our bonding. Yeah, crazy. Anyway, my point is that everybody loves a good mystery. This trial is going on right now. And we have been playing with the idea of introducing a few true crime type things, breaking down testimony in trials and stuff like that, seeing as a lot of our audience came to this channel because of the Puff trial, which is actually the only reason why we even started the channel. We were going to start it, like, it was always an idea to start I have 3 other YouTube channels, by the way, guys, but it was always an idea to start this particular channel for me personally. And the Puff trial gave that opportunity. Why not continue with it? So if you guys do like this segment, please let us know. But we're going to be breaking down this ongoing trial. There's no verdict yet, so you guys can look it up. But it's about a doctor in Hawaii that is being charged for attempted of his wife. The twist is that his son is not the son of the wife. So the wife is the stepmother to his son. His son is living with the stepmother right now. As we speak, the son is living with the stepmother and testifying against his father, his biological father. And it's just a messy situation. It's kind of crazy. I've been falling asleep to the testimony of this trial, to be honest with you. I sleep to weird things, but I've been falling asleep. I've been listening to the testimony of this trial. So I'm pretty well versed, and I told C about it. And yeah, it is actually pretty crazy. So C, why don't you get us started here? I'm going to run to the restroom. Let's get it started. And I really want you guys to lean into this. Give us your thoughts, your opinions. This is what we've been trying to do. So let's go ahead.
Yeah, so I'm just gonna read the reports on it, and then we'll get into some of the videos, some of the testimonies.
You got it.
So it says Hawaii anesthesiologist Gerard Koenig took the stand this week in his attempted murder trial 1 year after he allegedly tried to throw his wife off a 1,200 feet high cliff. Koenig testified in his own defense on Wednesday, April 1st, that he was having marital issues with his wife, Ariel Koenig, in the months leading up to their trip to the Hawaiian island of Oahu in March 2025. Gerard claimed in court the issues stemmed from an affair Ariel had with a co-worker, which Ariel, during her testimony last week, claimed was an emotional affair, and that the couple was working through this at the time of the alleged attack. On March 2024-2025, when they were on a hike to celebrate Ariel's birthday, she alleges Gerard tried to push her off a cliff and inject her with an unknown substance before bashing her head with a rock. She survived after two hikers nearby heard her scream for help. On Wednesday, Gerard gave his account of events, alleging he attacked in self-defense after he attacked in self-defense after he testified Ariel shoved him near the edge of the cliff and denying he had syringes on him that day. Ariel had never been charged in connection with the assault claims made by Gerard. He told the jury the couple got into an argument related to the man he considered Ariel's former lover. Following the argument, they briefly parted ways before reuniting atop the cliff when Ariel apologized. After they took a selfie, Gerard now alleges he felt a shove and was almost pushed over the edge by Ariel. As he approached her asking what she was doing, Gerard alleged in court Ariel began screaming, "Help me," before grabbing his wrist and pulling him to the ground. He further alleged she grabbed his testicles and began hitting him with a rock on the side of the face. His lawyer showed an image of him in court with
so now we're getting into testimony, so we don't have to go through all that. Let's check this out. Let's just check this out, okay? So we're gonna play a series of videos. I want you guys to please watch, listen, pay attention, because we're gonna figure this out. Right now we are the jurors, okay? We are the jurors. If you guys want to watch the entire testimony, you can look it up on YouTube. The entire testimony is on YouTube. This is a live trial. There's cameras in the courtroom. You can watch it hours and hours and hours on it. But we just took out some snippets, and I thought it would be good to talk about. So we are the jury, okay? See me in the chat. We are the jury. So let's get into the testimony, and then at the end, we're going to make a decision. If we were the jury right now, even though the testimony is not finished, we're the jury right now, what would we do? Let's start.
So this is parts of this. We're going to get into parts of the testimony of the father.
The father's last. No, not the father, because the father's testimony was last.
Okay.
Yeah, the defense that you're trying to do the reverse. We got to go first with either the witnesses or the stepmother.
Okay, let's do the stepmother.
And then it will have to be the son and then the father.
We were walking down and there's this big tree, and I was like, oh, I'll climb the tree. You can take my picture up there. And so we did that.
Okay. Who took the picture of who in the tree?
Yeah, I climbed the tree. I gave Gerhardt my phone and my purse to hold, and I climbed the tree and he took the picture on my phone.
So after you take the picture in this tree, where did you go?
Then I just climbed back down, back to Gerhardt in the trail. At that point, Gerhardt said, let's take a selfie. There's like a cliff's edge there, and he's like, let's take a selfie with this view in the background. And so we went and took a picture there as well. Where I was, where my feet were, where he was, and where the trail was, I felt like he was often looking at my feet and just very spatially aware of where I was on the trail.
Did you ever take that selfie?
We did. It wasn't quite as close to the edge as he wanted. I was standing, from that photo, you can see there's a pine tree, and I was holding onto a branch of that because I was just uneasy that close to the edge. And we did take a
Can I just say one thing? Can I just say
tree.
one thing? Can I just say one thing? If I'm a juror, if I was a juror, number one, she has crazy eyes, and it's weird that she talks out the side of her mouth. But that's all I would have wrote that in my notes if I was a juror. Just saying. Continue.
What happened next?
When I walk up to him, then he grabbed me really forcefully by my upper arms, and he said, "I'm so sick of this. Get back over there." And he starts pushing me back towards the cliff.
While the defendant was grabbing you and pushing you, what did you do?
I mean, I was surprised. It felt almost like he was kidding at first, and I was like, "What are you doing?" But he had grabbed me really hard and was moving me. So we kind of wrestled a little bit, and I threw myself onto the ground because there's a lot of trees and shrubs there so that I could hold on.
Right there, you know what I would have wrote down if I was a juror? I would have wrote down that she had details. There was trees and shrubs. I was able to hold on to those things. That's a key detail. I would have wrote that down. If I was a juror, I would have wrote down as a key detail, because every time there's a witness, you're trying to see who's telling the truth, right? I would have wrote that down as a credit that she's telling the truth.
Well, he got on top of me, and he was kind of trying to pull me, and we're wrestling, and he ended up straddling me. So he had his legs on either side, kind of across my waist. Sure, I'm laying on my back, and he's on top of me with kind of like one leg on either side across my waist, facing me.
Once the defendant was on top of you, what did he do next?
So he was first trying to pull me, trying to get me closer to the cliff. And again, I could kind of hold on to the roots and stuff that were around us. And then he had a backpack that he was hiking with. And he, like I said, he's on top of me. And he had a syringe in his hand. And he says, "Hold still." And I see the syringe, and I just kind of like bat it away from us both.
Okay. And then could you describe what
Now that part right there, they never recovered the syringe. So that I'm wondering if there was a syringe or not, because if you just batted it away, it's not like it just went over the cliff, right? So why is there no syringe? That part I would be wondering as a juror.
Sure, it was a clear syringe with a blue piece, maybe blue plunger, I guess is what that's called.
Once you were able to bat the syringe away onto the ground, what did the defendant do next?
So he had taken his backpack off, and it was on the ground to his left, so kind of to the right side of my body here. And he was digging in that with his left hand, and then...
Now, one thing I was always taught about people, whether they're lying or not, is to look at their eyes if they're not making eye contact and if they're blinking a lot. That was what I was taught. Let's just look at her eyes for a little bit and see. You know, we're all jurors. We're trying to be impartial. If I'm being honest with you, I think she's telling the truth. But we're all jurors. We're trying to be impartial. Okay. Well, let's just watch her eyes for a little bit.
Kind of holding me down with his right hand. And I'm screaming, and I'm saying, "What are you doing? Get off me." And he's saying, like, "You're done."
That's a lot of blinks. That's like
so sick of your
10 blinks
so
per
done
second.
With you. And I'm trying to kind of protect myself and get out of there. But also he's gripping his hand closed really hard. And there's a vial in his hand. So I was trying to pry his hand open so I could, and he did seem at that point to like calm down a little bit. Like it seemed like he took a deep breath and calmed down. And so I had this moment where I was like, okay, this is the break, like I can get out. And then he just starts hitting me with a rock.
I'm going to backtrack for just a moment.
Right there.
As the defendant
So his testimony is so different than hers. It's like total opposite. I watched his testimony. I'm not going to tell you guys what I think about it yet. We'll all get there at the same time. But aside from the blinking and the crazy eyes and her talking kind of like, when I say the side of your mouth, I'm not mean physically. I just mean the gaps in the, that's what I mean, the pattern. But it's also probably because she's very nervous. So those things are also characteristics of somebody who's nervous. I believe her testimony right now, but let's see what you guys think.
Yeah, for me, Jay, I think that hold on, let me just put this up on the screen.
Is it done? It's not done.
No, it's almost done. That's
Oh,
what
it's all, okay. Let's just play the last little couple things, and then
Was
we'll get
saying
into
things
it.
as you were saying things back. Were you also, were you trying to defend yourself physically at all?
Yes, and I'm screaming and trying to defend myself physically. So I think I bit his forearm at one point, trying to, that would have been his right forearm. And then I was also squeezing his testicles with so I had my right hand trying to squeeze his testicles to get him to get off of me.
All right.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know who to believe in this. I've only just started following this.
No, let's just talk about her though. You're not gonna spoil it for everybody.
I only
Just
just
for
started
her.
following this case.
What do you think about the testimony you just saw?
If
you're a juror, what are you writing in your notes?
I'm writing that she doesn't seem to be experiencing any kind of like flashback. She's not getting any emotional from it, which is something that was also observed in the video on the body cam with the officer, because like there was blood. There's a footage out there. We're not gonna show it, but there's a footage out there with a body cam footage with the two hikers.
She has blood all over her, yeah. All
She
over her
was
face.
very calm. She was describing her husband. She didn't seem like somebody who was thinking that, oh shoot, I almost lost my life and I had to fight, So that's also something that I would have written down, that she doesn't, especially as a woman, most women tend to cry in those kind of situations. Not every woman out there does that, but women, tend to be emotional in those kind of like traumatic
Shock
situations.
is also a real thing. Like you don't act the way you are when you're shocked.
Yeah, but she's not.
This is the thing. This is the thing in court. Let me just tell you guys. Sorry to interrupt you. This is the thing in court. The jurors are not allowed to talk to each other about the case, right? So what we're doing right now is actually cheating. But this is what C would be writing down. He'd be writing down, she didn't seem shocked. She didn't blah blah blah. And I would be writing down, she seems, or C would say she's not crying, whatever. And I'll be writing down, she seems very shocked, like what the hell just happened type thing. And I couldn't expect her to cry. So, but we will have two different opinions for the rest of the trial, where he might now not give her credibility, or I might give her more credibility. And like, so this is why you have 12 jurors, and it has to be 12-0 for someone, right?
Now, I just want to say this, guys, for those who have been following this case keenly, we've only just been doing the surface stuff. This is our first time just diving into it, so we might.
It's your first time. I've been following it, going to sleep. Buddy.
Oh, going to sleep. You're sleeping, so following the case. So there's some stuff that we won't be covering. Like, as you can see, her testimony was pretty short. We didn't really clip all.
We only clipped it to give you guys the idea of the story or whatever.
Exactly.
Let's get into. Do we have the people those two ladies that saved her, the hikers, or we're gonna go to the son?
We're gonna go to the son.
So here's the stepson. And then we'll get to, we have to do it in the order that they did it in court, right? We can't start, because you were about to start with the husband. We can't start with the end, because that's not the order that the jurors got it. So next, the order that the jurors got would have been the son. And I think the son buries the father. This is why I think this guy's guilty, because the son looks straight, dead cold in his father's face and just threw him under the bus. So let's go ahead.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for those of you who are just filing in, guys, and you've been following this case, the son, the son, or who haven't been following the case rather, but just started learning about this case. This is the son of the father. So
not the son of the woman who was the alleged victim. That's his stepmother. It's a son of the father. And she said, I think she has too much details. You see, this is why we got to do this more often, because everybody, if we're all jurors, independent jurors, we all have different perspectives of what's going on, right? So she says, I think she has too many details, which then would go to, hey, maybe she's rehearsed this like a lot of times.
Mm-hmm. And also there's this, I want to say this as well. There's this, I saw this. I was reading this thing. I should have saved it, but I was reading this thing that also said that they were filing for divorce, and she had moved $120,000 ahead of their divorce.
I don't think they were filing for the divorce. I don't think so. I don't know, but I don't think
There
so.
was something about moving 120,000.
Wait till we get to the husband's testimony, because that testimony, and it's very rare that a defendant takes a stand. So that testimony is actually what made me feel like I got a lot to say about this case. Let's add it, because I wasn't going to add it, but yesterday the husband testified yesterday, and we were looking at stuff all week to see what we're going to talk about on Thursday, and that was one of them. Can you fill in Mike Booker? Fill in Mike Booker 365 real quick. See, he just reached.
Oh, yeah. I mean, yeah. So during her I think there was a part during the case that they had her read he wrote a note.
Tell him what the case is.
No, Mike Booker, he was on when I was reading it. When I was reading
earlier. Oh, okay. Yes. Okay, that's a late comment. I probably was about to late. My bad.
Where are you going? Why are you always walking off of the live? Really? You think you can do that?
We're sponsored. We're sponsored by Wild Protein Chips.
Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that.
Oh, we can't do it?
Don't do that. Anyways.
Why?
So they had her read
food. Exactly. That's damn right. Food.
They had her read this
nourishment.
Can I finish?
Yes, go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, they had her read a letter that he wrote her for the morning of her birthday, and it was written in the shape of a heart. So the words kind of outlined the shape of a heart, and it was telling he was saying how great she is, and how he and the kids, they'll get through this, and how he and the kids are grateful for her and stuff. And they had her read that in a kind of way to kind of show that he had no intentions of killing her, that he had intentions of salvaging what they had. So I just wanted to point that out. So let's get into the son's testimony now. What happened was, after he had done what he did, it's alleged that he called the son, he FaceTimed him, video call, and told him that he told him what he did, and that he wasn't going to see him again because he was going to off himself.
Okay, so my question is actually, no, I'll ask you the question after. Let me ask you the question after the son's testimony. Let's check out the son's testimony.
On the morning of March 24th, 2025, did you receive any calls from either Ariel or the defendant?
I did.
Okay. And which was it?
From the defendant.
Who contacted who?
You mean your dad?
Defendant contacted me.
The defendant.
What type of call was it?
A FaceTime call.
What did the defendant tell you during that call, as close to word for word as you can remember?
That he would not be making it back to Maui, and to take good care of the younger kids, and that Ari, my stepmom, had been cheating on him, and that he tried to kill her.
Okay.
During that call, the next plan that he said was to jump off the cliff.
And how did you react to hearing that?
I told him not to.
How did you react to the defendant telling you he tried to kill Ariel?
I don't remember what I said.
Do you recall what the defendant told you after he said he tried to kill Ariel?
I asked what was on his shirt, because it looked like I saw splatters of something on his shirt, and he said, oh, it's just her, meaning Ari's, blood.
Okay. So far you've told us that the defendant told you he tried to kill Ariel, that Ariel got away, that Ariel was cheating on him, that he planned to jump, and that the blood on the shirt he's told you was Ariel's. Is that right?
Correct.
Okay, did I miss anything so far?
No.
Okay. Did he tell you anything else during this call at 10:42 a.m.?
No.
All right. So, Emil, after you get this FaceTime call and after the defendant tells you these things, what did you do?
I went over to my grandparents' house, which is Ariel's parents.
Okay.
Walked over to their house, told them what had happened.
How far away is your grandparents' house away from the Pu'uehu place address you mentioned earlier?
It's like a minute or so walk.
And could you tell us your grandparents' names?
Judith and Peter Mast.
Yeah, so that was basically it. Oh wow, look at you chewing on live.
You can't hear it, bro.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, yeah, the son's testimony basically threw his dad under the bus with this one. Said that,
And he's looking right at his dad. It seems like I think he's looking at the lawyer, but from our perspective, it's like he's looking right at his dad. It's kind of crazy.
yeah, it's really
Now, do you
crazy.
believe the son?
No.
What don't you believe?
I mean, so if you listen to the entire thing, they ask him to if he can recall certain details, and it's just plain answers. He can't recall anything. And they even try to assist him, and it's just like basic stuff. It's just like, yeah, this is what I'm told. His response is like he's just following some. This is what I'm told to say, and this is what I'm saying. I'm not, trying to provide more details than that. That's basically his old testimony.
Now, in order to keep this live at least like a good, decent time, we cut out a lot. You guys should go and watch the entire thing. We didn't do the cross-examination of the son. The cross-examination of the son there, he looks calm. The cross-examination, he gets really annoyed with his father's defense attorney, asking him questions. That son, in my opinion, buried the father. In my opinion, the son really did bury the father, because at the end of the day, it's her word against his word. The witnesses, those two joggers, hikers, or whatever, that kind of saved her, that obviously saved her, but they kind of were impartial in their testimony. I know we don't have it here, but you guys can go watch it. The reason why I say they were impartial is because, remember, this is not an assault case. This is not a question of did he beat her or did he hit her or was there a fight or but this is an attempted unaliving case, right? Attempted unaliving means you're trying to unalive somebody. This wasn't just a fight. This is attempted unaliving. That's very big. Like, a very big difference than a fight or an assault charge. Why am I bringing this up? The ladies, the two hikers or whatever that came and saved them, said he didn't pursue her after. So they are not witnesses to an attempted unaliving. They are witnesses to an assault. Because if he was pursuing her to try to throw her off the cliff, or he had the syringe and they saw the syringe, or if they saw, if they saw anything that would be deadly, then that would have, okay, he's done. But they didn't see anything that was deadly. So all their testimony says is he beat her or attacked her, or she was, at least at that moment in time, she was being attacked. That does not lead to attempted unalive. However, the son said in his testimony that the father called him on FaceTime and said, I just tried to unalive Ari or whatever her, I think it's Ari. Now that is a key piece of evidence because they don't have anything. Before that, it's just his word against her word. It's the husband's word against the wife's word, right? And then you have witnesses saying, yeah, I saw him assaulting her. The stepson, her stepson, the father's son, the husband's actual son, and the wife's stepson, he's the one that brings this all together, that this was actually attempted unalive. Now, that's what I'm saying. If the jurors believe that kid's testimony, that father is cooked. He is cooked. He is absolutely cooked. I believe everything that the wife said, except that he tried to push her over the hill. The reason why I don't believe that is because choose one. Either he was trying to take a syringe and inject you, or he's trying to push you over the cliff. I don't believe that he was trying to do both. Sorry, guys, I've been eating. I don't believe that he was trying to do both. Kind of choose one. That's the only wishy-washy thing I kind of, But like I said, the son buries the father if the jury believes the son. All right. Let's listen to the father's defense.
She did. So, like, earlier in the conversation, she'd be like, well, what if my mom chaperones my work trips with him? And I was like, no, like, I'm still not okay with that. Like, and that's not a long-term viable solution. And then later in the argument, when things kind of...
Oh, sorry. I'll put him back on mute. My bad.
got heated, she was like, well, actually, my mom just said that she'll chaperone the trip and she thinks Jeff is interesting and can't wait to meet him. And I'm like, you're obviously telling them a whole different version of what happened than me. So, I stomped off. I just stomped off up the trail. And this was a point where we were both really kind of just upset with each other. And I went one way and she went the other way. 5 to 10 minutes in, I was like realizing kind of where I was. And I was like, I don't want to be here. I want to go home and like start dealing with what we need to deal with. I don't want to, I got to the point where it opens up and it's like these beautiful views. And I'm like there by myself and upset, and I was like, I don't want to be on this hike by myself, upset, and I don't want to do this hike. I'm going to come back and do this hike at a different time when I'm happy. I was really looking forward to doing the hike.
When you headed back down, were you expecting Ariel to be where you had left her?
No.
Where were you expecting her to be?
I thugh she went to the car because I saw her head down the trail.
And there was testimony that when you she said when you got there, you said, "Oh, you're still here." Did you say that to her?
Yes.
And is that because you assumed she had gone back to the parking lot?
Yes.
Now you get back. What is her demeanor and behavior like now?
Like a 180 reversal, basically. So she was like extremely apologetic, and said, basically, I'm so sorry. You're right. Like, I need to take accountability and like, let's just, not ruin the day. I don't want to ruin the day. I don't want to ruin our trip, and let's keep talking about this in therapy. Okay. And she said, like, I won't travel with Jeff.
Did you guys end up taking a selfie?
Yeah. First, she was like, again, like almost manic, like super happy, and was trying to basically, get me to be in a better mood. And she was like, I'm gonna climb this tree, take pictures of me in this tree. And so she handed me her phone, and I took some pictures of her in the tree. And then after that, she said, let's take a selfie by the cliff's edge.
That was her idea?
Yes.
Okay. Did you guys take one?
We did.
And what happened after that?
Right after the selfie, I just remember kind of staying at the edge there and looking over the edge and just kind of still in thought about everything that had just happened and what's going on. And then I felt like a shove, and I was
pause it,
pushed
please.
over the edge.
Okay.
So you see that? They both have the same story, right? You see that, right? See, they both have the same story. It's very strange. But he's saying that she pushed him, and he's saying that he pushed her. They both have the same exact story. We took a selfie at the edge. The only difference is her story is that I didn't want to go so close to the edge. He wanted me to come closer to the edge, and I didn't want to. They both have the same story. If I only heard this part, I might believe that it's so tough, because whoever tried to push whoever over the edge, they weren't strong enough. They didn't push strong enough because the person didn't go over the edge. And if I have to think, I would assume that he is a stronger person because he's the male, that she might have tried to push him over the edge. But then when I listen to the rest of her testimony, I believe her. So did he, but then it's like twice that he tried to unalive her, tried to push her over the edge, and then took a syringe out. This is like for me, it's tough to, if I'm a juror, I don't know what happened. I know that he hit her with the rug. I know that she grabbed his balls. I know that they got into a fight and they were tussling on the ground. But the unaliving part, because even if they talked about the syringe, what's in the syringe? Is it just to sedate you? Because that's not unaliving. Because if they would have to prove that whatever was in the syringe would actually unalive her, right? And this has to be beyond a reasonable doubt. This can't be like it probably happened. It has to be beyond a reasonable doubt. This is a very interesting case to me. Because I believe the wife more than I believe the husband. And I certainly believe that the son is not crazy, that he just wants to bury his father, because that is, I don't know, that sounds crazy to me. But for me as a juror, it would come down to, was he actually trying to unalive her, or was this a fight? Was this a fight because he was upset and he was jealous that she was having an affair? That's what it would come down to for me. Was this a fight and he assaulted her? Well, clearly she assaulted him too, but did he initiate the fight? Right? Or did she initiate the fight? But was this just a fight, or is this attempted unaliving? That is the question. There's no question that he beat her. The question is, did he try to unalive her? Let's continue with his testimony.
You felt a shove. Okay. Who shoved you?
Ari did.
What did you do right after that?
Barely caught myself and turned around and looked at her and was like, "What the fuck was that?" Like,
okay. Turned around and it was like, what, like, was like kind of in shock, like, what the fuck was that?
Yes.
Okay, and then did you move towards her?
Yeah, I did. I was like, just asking her, like, what was that, and started walking towards her, because at this point she was like 5 or 10 feet away from me.
Okay, so you walked towards her, and you mentioned when you're walking towards her, where were your hands?
Out.
Okay. Now, did you get close to her?
Yes, eventually. Yeah. Well,
and by the way, when you start walking towards her, is she saying anything?
Not initially, but I turn around and I'm asking her, like, what the hell's, what the fuck just happened and what's going on. And as I'm starting to walk towards her, she starts yelling.
I'm sorry, I don't believe him. I just don't believe him.
Yelling.
Yeah,
I don't believe his testimony. No, I don't believe what he's saying. I don't believe him.
I believe him.
But again, you believe him? I don't
yes,
believe
and
him.
also look at the eye contact. He's looking directly at them. He's not shying away and and he's on point with his response. I believe him.
I don't know. I don't believe him, but I also wonder, was this a fight?
Yeah, it could just be a fight, and also the syringe wasn't recovered. I don't know, man. This one's a crazy one.
Because I've seen fights before with husband and wife, men and women. I've seen fights before. Like, I've seen it many times. Ish happens all the time. Like, you guys are gonna go crazy. I've seen fights where they pull knives, the woman and the man. People I know, they pull knives. It's a fight. It's like, I don't know. Like,
also remember that there's also that fight. There's the true story.
But I don't believe him. I just want to make that clear. I don't believe him.
Remember the 48 hours with the girl and the guy, and they were both drunk and they got into a fight, and she killed him and didn't even, or unalived him and didn't even realize when he crawled through the window.
Yes,
And
they got into a fight and she knifed him up, and she didn't even realize they were both totally wasted. And then she unalived him and went to sleep. And he like stumbled over, and then she went to sleep on the couch in her office, and he bled out throughout the night because he couldn't. He wasn't able. He actually bled out for hours while she was sleeping because they were both wasted. This is not that, but what I'm saying is like fights can get like obviously out of hand, go crazy. I'm just wondering, is this a fight or is this a planned unaliving? Like, did he plan to take her up there? Because that's what the prosecution is claiming. He planned to take her up there, either push her over, say, let's take a selfie and push her over, or if that doesn't work, take a syringe and lethally whatever, and then maybe push her over. I don't know. If I'm a juror, that's my question. There is no question that he attacked her. She didn't have a reason to try to push him over. That's the reason why I don't believe his story. What is her motive to try to push him over the cliff? She didn't have one.
She wanted to be done with him. He wouldn't let go of her, and she wanted to be with that other guy that she was trying so hard to convince to let him to convince him to let her.
But there's
go
no evidence of S with those two. There's no evidence of S. They didn't go back and forth talking about anything to do with I miss you or anything like that. As she claims, it was an emotional affair. Which, if you're on here, this is why you don't go through your significant other's phone. I'm just putting it out there. I have a rule in my relationships. Do not go through your significant other's phone. You're going to find something that you don't want to see, and you're going to go crazy. According to him and his testimony, they had an otherwise great relationship. You screwed it up by going through his phone. Not only did he go through her phone, he also installed her WhatsApp on his computer so he can see all the messages that come through from the other guy, so he can see what's going on. Bro, why are you doing that to yourself? If you don't trust her, leave her. It's very simple. Like, why are you destroying your life? Do not go through their phone. Give them the privacy that they deserve. And if they don't deserve privacy, then you shouldn't be with them. Like, it's very simple. Like, I think that's absolutely crazy. I don't go through my significant other's phone. I don't want to know. Even if my significant other was doing something, let her do it. I don't want to know. I don't want to know. The truth will reveal itself over time. I don't need to play detective. I don't need to lose sleep. I don't need to, be out here in the streets trying to figure things out. I don't need to be going crazy. For my people from the Caribbean, look up KMC, KMC. I don't want to know. He has a song called, this is from Trinidad. He has a song called I Don't Want to Know. And it says, I don't want to know if I get in Han in Trinidad means getting cheated on. I don't want to know. Let me live my life and focus on what I got to focus on, because that stuff will eat you alive. So he, according to this particular testimony that he gave in front of the court under oath, they had a great relationship otherwise. Until this guy came into the picture that she was working with, and then things went left when he went into her phone when she was sleeping. Bro, now you're fighting for your life on an attempted unaliving charge because you went through her phone. Time is the ultimate truth teller. If things are going crazy or something's happening in which you shouldn't be the recipient of, it'll happen. You'll see it. You'll find out, and then you move how you move. But you playing detective and doing all this crazy stuff is nuts. Sorry, go ahead.
Kim Truly Blessed says, if it's meant for me to know, it will come out to the light without me looking for it.
Exactly. That's exactly what I'm talking about. This all happened because of that. Put that comment on the screen. This all happened because of that. Because he couldn't just wait for it to come to light. He needed to whatever. And I don't subscribe to that. I don't subscribe to that. He is now fighting for his life because he went through his wife's phone. Leave the phone alone. I know this is a hot take. I know this is not a popular take. But if you want peace, give yourself a chance to have peace. That's all I'm saying. All right, let's continue.
And then what happens?
And then I just keep walking to her like, what are you doing?
And I get her, like, why are you screaming?
Yeah, what are you doing? And I get to her and I'm like, touching her, just putting my hands on her arms, and I was like, what are you doing? What's going on?
What happens then?
She keeps yelling, and she kind of grabs my wrists and throws herself on the ground and pulls me down with her.
So now you guys are on the ground?
Yes.
Okay. When you're on the ground, what starts to happen?
She's holding on to me, and I'm trying to figure out what's going on, but I'm also at this point trying to let go of, like, trying to get free, because she's like actively holding on to me. Like she has her leg like wrapped around one of my legs, and like is actively holding on to me and is yelling. And so I'm trying to, get free, and I get my one arm free, and I try to use it to get my other arm free, and she grabs me by the testicles. Then I try to free my testicles, and so I'm like thrashing with and I get both hands free, and I'm trying to get her to let go of my testicles, and then she hits me with the rock on the side of the face.
Okay.
She kept doing it. The first blow she landed really well, and after that I was able to block fairly well. She did like land a couple more, but not as bad as the first one.
Is that the area?
Yes.
All right. We can take that down. Now, you get hit with the rock. Explain to the jury what happens next and why.
And I finally get the rock.
What'd you do?
I hit her with the rock.
How many times do you think you hit her?
I hit her 2 times.
Okay. And when you did, was she still holding on to your testicles?
Yes.
At least initially?
Yes.
Okay.
All right. So based on the testimony so far, do you have him guilty beyond a reasonable doubt of attempted unaliving? Is that what you have?
No.
You have him not guilty?
I need
based
more.
on testimony so far.
I need more. Mm-hmm.
Oh, man. I find him guilty based on the son's testimony.
But the son
I would vote guilty.
Yeah,
but what has the son? What happened with the son's testimony to make you're just making that up, that the son just hates his dad?
No, but what happened?
Nothing in the son's testimony said he hated his dad.
No, but the son hasn't given any detail. It's lacking detail. It's just single answers, and when it comes to providing more detail, he can't provide that.
No.
That was the first thing.
The son has no motive to lie. That's one thing. What I was looking for, because you didn't play the cross-examination of the son, where the defense attorney questioned the son. I was looking during the cross-examination to see if they brought up some motivation that the son had to lie. They tried. They said, "Oh, you like living in Hawaii, don't you? You didn't want to go back to, I think they were from Ohio or something. You didn't want to go back to Ohio, did you? You loved it there." And they tried. And the son, and that's why the son also, I think part of the reason why the son was getting annoyed during the cross-examination was like, yeah, so what are you trying to say? I'm lying type thing. So I believe the son was telling the truth. I believe the son's testimony. I believe the father said those things. If he didn't actually try to unalive her, it sucks, because I believe the father did say those things. He did say, I just tried to unalive Ari or Eri. I don't know how to pronounce her name. I just tried to unalive her. Maybe because he was in shock. Maybe because he was in shock, and I do believe that the father was saying, "I'm going to throw myself off this cliff."
Okay.
Why would the son make that up?
Why wouldn't he do it? Why didn't he do it?
Because the son was saying, no, dad, don't.
Okay. Yeah, by the way, the name of the mom, her name is Ariel.
Ariel, so it'll be Ari, I guess.
This is a screenshot, by the way, taken with the two hikers that helped her, and with her face all bloody.
Yeah, they were in they testified as well. The thing is, they helped nobody. I don't believe it, because when asked, they said, did he continue to pursue her? And they said no. Now, obviously, he probably wouldn't have continued to pursue her even if he wanted to unalive her, because there was now witnesses there. But the fact that he didn't helps the defense, because the defense can now say, they came, they broke it up, he didn't continue to do anything, right? So it's still his word over her word. The problem is the son saying, dad called me and said he just tried to unalive stepmom Ari. That right there puts the nail in the coffin. The son cooked him. Right? I'm going to be following this case.
Why would you do that to your dad, though? Even if it was true, why would he do that?
Maybe he just wants to. He lives with the stepmother right now, and the stepmother is the mother of his other two brothers. He has two little brothers, and the stepmother is the mother of his two brothers. I grew up with a stepfather. I would never testify against my mother. I would lie for my mother. I would tell, don't put me on the stand, because I ain't saying nothing good about that. Mom was right. I grew up with a stepfather. They couldn't put me in that situation. I'll take my mother's side 10 out of 10. But maybe this kid just either he has a better relationship with the stepfather than he does with his own mother. With his own stepmother more than he does with his own father. Or
Actually,
maybe he just.
I know situations like that, actually, where the child is more is closer to the stepmother or the step parent rather than their biological parent.
Yeah. Or maybe he just feels convicted to tell the truth. Maybe that's the actual truth, and he just wants to say, "Yo, this is the truth. This is what happened, and I have to tell the truth."
Okay.
I already know you, anyways. So you need hardcore proof. You need hardcore evidence. I know. Man, this is a tough one for me. I'd find the father guilty right now, based on testimony right now, because of the son's testimony. But if the son did not testify that the father called him on FaceTime with a bloody shirt saying, I just tried to unalive. And here's another thing. In the son's testimony, after they said, what did you do after the call? He said, I went to my grandparents' house, which is her parents, his step-grandparents. I went to their place with my girlfriend and told them what's going on. So why would he go there and tell them that right away if the father didn't tell him, I just tried to unalive your thing? Why would he go there and tell them that?
Okay, now you're onto something there. Yeah, you're right.
Right? Why would he go there and tell them that? If he's just going to make up a lie just like that off the top because he hates his dad that much, that he's just going to make up a lie, go straight to their crib right after the call. And then he says his dad called him back and said, did you tell anybody? And he said, yes, I told the grandparents. And I think he told his mother too. Actually, he called his mother back in Ohio and told his mother. So why are you telling everybody this lie right away? The father probably did say that, but what I'm saying is it could have been that the father misspoke. In other words, like the father was just like, I don't know if he tried to say like she attacked me, so I tried to unalive her. I don't know.
Yeah, but not necessarily that it was a premeditated.
Exactly. Not that it was me. It was me premeditate. Yeah, exactly. Not that it was premeditated. Why did my computer just do that? Yeah, not that it was premeditated is my point. Like let's say me and you get into a fight, right? Obviously we know who would win. But let's say me and you get into a fight, right? No, you wouldn't win. But let's say me and you get into a fight, right? And then I call my boy and I inadvertently say, I just tried to kill C. But that wasn't my intention and it wasn't premeditated. It was just we got into a fight and I thought it was a fight to the death. And I just said, I just tried to unalive him. You know what I mean? Like you could misspeak. But if he misspoke, because you're in shock, everything's going on like going so fast, and you just say that. Because even so, why would you call your son in the first place if you're not in shock and not thinking correctly? And if you're trying to get away with an attempted unaliving, get away. Why would you call somebody and snitch on yourself? That's a thing that doesn't make sense to me.
Yes, because if it was planned, you wouldn't have called. You wouldn't have called.
That's the thing that doesn't make sense to me. Why would you call somebody and snitch on yourself?
Because what I was gonna say too is like if you planned
like right after with blood on your shirt on FaceTime. He didn't even just call him on audio. He called him on FaceTime.
Mm-hmm. So
Why
if
would
it
you do that?
that would so even if it was like it couldn't be premeditated either, and at the same time, he wouldn't have been in shock if he was preparing for this. It's a tricky one.
You're preparing for it. You could be in shock. Everybody got a plan to get punched in the mouth. Mike Tyson.
Yeah, but he didn't.
If he's preparing on it, maybe he didn't realize it was going to be. It didn't go as planned. I don't know, man. This is a good one. Yeah. For y'all on here, we're definitely going to react to the verdict. We're definitely going to be reacting to the verdict. Our next live is going to be on Easter Sunday, which is in 2 days. Happy Good Friday to everybody. Right? It might rain tomorrow because my mother says it always rains on Good Friday. And I appreciate everybody being on here. I really do. I really appreciate everybody supporting the channel. Go and send this video to anybody that you feel like could benefit from it, or just find some entertainment, play in the back, play in the shower. I don't give a damn. Play when you're driving, whatever. I appreciate everybody being here. We will see you guys on Sunday. And do you have any last words, Mr. C?
Nah. Go well.
I bought some stuff. Go and be great. Go and be great. Greatness is a choice, and that choice is made every moment of every single day. I bought some stuff from Best Buy, and I got it for the studio, and I got to go and hook it up now. So I will see y'all on Sunday. If I don't see you, happy Easter in advance. Peace.
Right now, me feeling high like a helicopter. Spin out your rags and the air like a chopper. Hennessy punching Johnny Walker. Somebody tell the police they just can't stop us. High like a helicopter. Spin out your rags in the air like a chopper. Hennessy punching Johnny Walker. Somebody tell the police they just can't stop us. Oh, when me choppers them. 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 Rags me, flags me, rags me, flags me, rags me, flags me. Yo, spin your rags in the air like a chopper. Wave your rags like a helicopter. Spin out your rods in the air like a chopper. Round and round like a helicopter. Spin your rods in the air like a chopper. Wave your rods like a helicopter. Spin your rods in the air like a chopper. High choppers fly, helicopters. We drunk cause we drink like a fish in the water. So high is like the world spinning faster. Dripping with sweat but it don't really matter. The music making me ball out. We see ladies and we call out. Them girls and them whining all out. Look a fight in the back, them brawl out. What? Me no business about that. Girls on me mind, so me thinking about that. Woman in the place, so me hunting for that. Bumpers in me face, so me on the attack. Just give me Henny, yo, give me Stack. Racial thing, white oak, Johnny Black. Oh gosh, I gotta catch a jet lag. 1919 does have me feeling high like a helicopter. Spin out your rags in the air like a chopper. Hennessy punching Johnny Walker. Somebody tell the police they just can't stop us.